Hey neighbor, well if you've been following us very long, you know I talk about winter squash and hard squash a lot. Really just don't understand why more people don't grow it. And then had a little bit of a revelation a couple of days ago. We're harvesting them now, and I gave some to my neighbor. I gave some to our warehouse manager, and the first question both of them ask is, what do I do with this? So today we're going to show you how to harvest them and then how we prepare them. And I think once you see that, it's going to click. I should be growing winter squash. Let's first take a little detour around the sunflower patch here. We got a new variety that we're growing this year, and we're also offering it. It's called Peach Pro Cut. Now you can look at that color there, and you can tell they named this sunflower appropriately, peach. Nice, unique color there that we have not seen before. And of course, it's a pro cut, so it grows up about the height that we like them here. They're pollenless. They make wonderful sunflowers. But it's great that we got this variety right here that's got this unique color in this year that's in the Pro Cut series that we're growing. Excited to have it as a new offering there. So you may want to give it a try. Peach Pro Cut. I don't think you'll be disappointed. So it's go time or harvest time for our delicata winter squash, hard squash. I planted 2 rows of these, about 35 foot long, and you can see the harvest we got right here. Of course, we've already gave away a few and we've ate a couple of them, but it was a really good harvest for 2 rows. And to be honest with you, you know, for the 2 of us, these things are going to store for about 30 days. This is going to be a plenty for us and to share with our friends and neighbors. I grew about 4 rows of this red KURI. Now the reason I grew more of the red KURI is because they store longer. I'm gonna get up to 3 months storage out of these red KURIs, so we got a longer time to consume them here. We had a pretty good harvest of them, but when do you harvest these winter squash, hard squash? Well, these vines look rough, but they're supposed to look rough at harvest time. One of the telltale signs of harvest time for these winter squash is the vines start going back. It's okay. Another way to tell is the skin on your squash will get tough, and you can take your fingernail and they didn't scar very easy. They're toughened up, and that stem there starts maturing out. All those are great signs it's ready to harvest those winter squash. When it is time to harvest them, you want to use some good clippers here, and you want to come above that stem about 1.5 inches there, and you want to clip them. You don't want to pull them off because they're going to break off right here and they're going to spoil quicker. You want a decent amount of stem there so these things can mature out. Some people call it a handle, but that's about the perfect way you want to harvest these winter squash. Clip them there, nice smooth cut with some clippers. I don't like using a knife. Clippers is my preferred method of doing it. All right, so we got them harvested. We're going to store them just like we would onions in a cool, dry, dark place to get the most storage out of them. Like I said, 3 months out of these right here. We're gonna get about 30 days out of those delicatas there. Now, let's go show you how we prepare these. Now, I like to wash it good because I'm gonna cook it with the skin on it. Now, you need to be a little bit careful because these things are hard. I'm gonna use a good sharp knife here. A little side note here, this is a bench-made kitchen knife that they come out with. Ooh, I absolutely love it. A little on the pricey side. This baby right here holds an edge extremely well. So we're going to go down the top and we're going to split this thing right down the middle. And we're going to take this seed cavity right here with just a regular old spoon and we're going to scoop this out because this is going to go back to the chickens right here. We don't want these seeds in there. Now, if it's an OP variety that you want to save your seeds on, you can do that at this point. Or if you want to get real ambitious and roast you some seeds, a good opportunity there now. But I'm going to let my chickens work on them. These seeds in this cavity area right here. You can see all the little stuff that holds the seeds together. We're going to take all that out, scrape it down pretty good. And I like to take olive oil and just coat it all the way around. Even the outside of the rind there, I like to put a little olive oil on that as well. And then I like to season up. Now you can use regular salt. We got some of this Redmond salt. Well, no, excuse me, this is real salt here. Chef's blend some of this kind of unique salt we've been using here lately. We'll just sprinkle it around a little bit. And now's the time you want to season up pretty good. Now everybody's got their favorite seasoning, and I use a little bit of everything. You can use Everglades, Cavender's, which is favorites of mine, whatever you got on hand. It's time now to put it in there. Today I'm going to use some of this garlic butter. All right, so we use pork as the meat on our winter squash. This right here is some pork and some sausage that we browned ahead of time. And you can use bacon, just straight sausage, whatever you like here. This is just our choice right here. So we like to put some of that in there. That'll help flavor it up somewhat. And then you can do whatever suits you. This is what suits us. Some of these onions that we grew this year, some of those sweet onions. I'm going to put plenty of those in there. Got them diced up. I love onions on everything. And then some peppers we grew, the poblano, banana, and jalapeno. I'm going to put some of those in there. I'm making a mess there, ain't I? And then we got to put a little elephant garlic on there because we do live in the South, and elephant garlic is what we grew. And then I'm going to hit a little more seasoning on top of our peppers and onions and garlic. And now it's time to cook them. Now we put them in a pan, and I have to use this parchment paper here because she gets upset if I don't and I make a mess. So she likes me to put that down. It works pretty good too. So you can get through, you can just throw that away. Now normally we cook this for about an hour in the oven at 350 degrees. What you want is you want it to be soft in there. So in about an hour's time at 350, that works pretty well for us. Now I got a buddy that cooks some in the air fryer, so they turned out real well. We don't do the air fryer thing much, so I prefer using the oven. So anywhere around an hour there. Of course, you got to pull it out to put your Parmesan cheese on there right before they're done. Now, I'm a huge fan of Parmesan cheese, so right before they get done, or, 5 or 10 minutes before you're ready to take them out, I like to put me a little Parmesan on them. And it gives it a chance to melt down a little bit. Well, there's more than one way to skin the cat, and there's more ways than one to cook these winter squash. I'm just showing you today the way we prefer to do it. So if you got a preferred way that you like to cook them that you'd love to share with us, I would really appreciate it if you'd put in the comments below so we could know some other ways to prepare them, cook them. You can also make a soup out of them. Several different ways you can cook them. But this is the way we love to enjoy them right here. This is a meal within itself. The pork, the onions, the peppers, olive oil, all that leads to a really great flavor here. It's probably something a little unique that you're not used to eating, but it's absolutely wonderful. And best of all, we grew it in our very own backyard vegetable garden. Food source here that's going to last for a few weeks. When we cook these, we normally cook more than we're going to eat. Scoop them out, put them in the refrigerator, and it works great for leftovers for the next day. Even gets even better.